A recently discovered vulnerability, known as React2Shell, is currently being exploited by cybercriminals to deploy sophisticated Linux backdoors. This situation is alarming because it highlights the evolving tactics of threat actors and their potential to compromise sensitive systems. Reports indicate that KSwapDoor and ZnDoor are two malware families leveraging this vulnerability. According to findings published on December 16, 2025, by Palo Alto Networks Unit 42 and NTT Security, these tools are being used to infiltrate networks and execute malicious commands across various sectors. In this video, we'll explore the details of the React2Shell vulnerability, the malware it enables, and the broader implications for cybersecurity. If you find this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. Timeline of exploitation. Key events unfolding. As the React2Shell vulnerability continues to be exploited, the situation evolves rapidly, revealing a complex web of cyber threats. In December 2023, the ZnDoor malware was first identified in active campaigns targeting organizations in Japan, showcasing the vulnerability's reach beyond initial assessments. This malware operates by executing a series of bash commands to download its payload, highlighting the streamlined methods employed by attackers to infiltrate systems. By early 2025, cybersecurity experts noted a surge in activity linked to 5 distinct threat groups, all believed to have connections to China. These groups have been observed using the React2Shell vulnerability to deploy various payloads, indicating a concerted effort to exploit this flaw across multiple sectors. The diversity of the malware, ranging from tunneling utilities to sophisticated remote access tools, illustrates the adaptability of cybercriminals in leveraging vulnerabilities for diverse operational goals. The sophistication of KSwapDoor, with its stealthy design and military-grade encryption, underscores a shift towards more targeted cyber operations. This malware's ability to create an internal mesh network allows compromised systems to communicate discreetly, a tactic that not only enhances persistence but also complicates detection efforts. The identification of its sleeper mode adds a layer of complexity, enabling attackers to remain dormant until activated, further evading security measures. In parallel, the exploitation of React2Shell has led to alarming credential harvesting activities, with attackers targeting cloud service metadata endpoints. This focus on acquiring identity tokens from platforms like Azure and AWS illustrates a strategic pivot towards infiltrating cloud infrastructures, which are increasingly central to modern enterprise operations. The deployment of tools such as TruffleHog and GitLeaks for secret discovery further highlights the lengths to which threat actors will go to exfiltrate sensitive information. The scale of the exploitation is staggering, with estimates suggesting that over 59,000 servers have already been compromised. The Shadow Server Foundation's tracking of over 111,000 vulnerable IP addresses signals a widespread issue, with the US being the most affected region. This extensive footprint raises significant concerns about the potential for widespread data breaches and the implications for organizations not adequately fortified against such attacks. As the cyber threat landscape continues to evolve, the React2Shell vulnerability serves as a stark reminder of the importance of robust cybersecurity measures. Organizations must remain vigilant and proactive in their defense strategies to mitigate the risks posed by these increasingly sophisticated cyber threats. The exploitation of the React2Shell vulnerability has far-reaching implications for various sectors, particularly in industries that rely heavily on cloud infrastructure and Linux-based systems. The targeting of organizations in Japan with ZnDoor underscores the specific geographic and sectoral focus of these attacks, revealing a trend where cybercriminals are not only seeking financial gain but also aiming to disrupt critical services and extract sensitive information. The sophisticated nature of malware like KSwapDoor and ZnDoor indicates that threat actors are increasingly employing advanced tactics to maintain persistence within compromised networks. KSwapDoor's ability to create an internal mesh network allows for seamless communication between infected servers, complicating detection efforts and enabling attackers to navigate through networks without raising alarms. This method of lateral movement is particularly concerning for organizations that may not have robust monitoring systems in place. Moreover, the involvement of nation-state actors, as suggested by the attribution of KSwapDoor to Chinese cyber operations, raises the stakes significantly. Governments and corporations alike face heightened risks, as these actors often have access to greater resources and capabilities, allowing them to conduct prolonged campaigns that can result in extensive data breaches and operational disruptions. The extensive use of techniques such as Cloudflare tunnel endpoints to obscure malicious activities further complicates the cybersecurity landscape. By blending in with legitimate traffic, attackers can evade traditional security measures, making it imperative for organizations to adopt more sophisticated detection and response strategies. Additionally, the breadth of targets, including cloud service platforms like AWS and Azure, illustrates the vulnerability of modern infrastructures to these advanced threats. Credential harvesting operations targeting service endpoints not only compromise individual organizations but also pose a systemic risk to the integrity of cloud ecosystems as a whole, potentially affecting a multitude of users and services. As the Shadow Server Foundation tracks over 111,000 vulnerable IP addresses, the scale of this threat becomes apparent. With a significant concentration of these vulnerabilities in the US and Europe, the potential for widespread impact is significant. Organizations across sectors must prioritize vulnerability management and incident response planning to mitigate the risks posed by this evolving threat landscape. Future outlook: what to expect and how to prepare. As the React2Shell vulnerability continues to be exploited, organizations must adopt a proactive stance to mitigate risks associated with these emerging threats. The sophistication of malware like KSwapDoor and ZnDoor indicates that threat actors are not only targeting high-value entities but are also refining their methods to evade detection and enhance operational stealth. To prepare for potential attacks, companies should prioritize the implementation of robust security measures tailored to their specific environments. This includes conducting thorough vulnerability assessments to identify and remediate weaknesses associated with the React2Shell vulnerability and similar threats. Regular updates and patches for software dependencies are essential, as attackers often exploit known vulnerabilities that remain unaddressed in systems. Moreover, organizations should invest in advanced threat detection solutions that leverage machine learning and behavioral analytics to identify unusual patterns of activity indicative of compromise. Given the stealthy nature of KSwapDoor, which can communicate over encrypted channels and utilize sleeper modes, traditional signature-based detection methods may prove insufficient. Education and training of personnel are also critical components of a comprehensive security strategy. Employees should be made aware of the tactics employed by cybercriminals, particularly the social engineering techniques that may precede malware deployment. Regular simulations and drills can help prepare teams to respond effectively in the event of a security incident. Furthermore, collaboration and information sharing within the cybersecurity community can enhance collective defenses against these evolving threats. Organizations should engage with threat intelligence platforms and participate in industry forums to stay informed about the latest developments in malware tactics and vulnerabilities. Finally, organizations must establish robust incident response plans that include clear protocols for containment, eradication, and recovery in the event of a compromise. These plans should be regularly tested and updated to ensure preparedness for potential incidents stemming from vulnerabilities like React2Shell. In summary, the landscape of cyber threats is rapidly evolving, and organizations must remain vigilant and proactive in their security posture to safeguard their systems against sophisticated malware and exploitation strategies. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.